Hey there, Erin Lee here of VancouverIslandPsychic.com, bringing you the weekly Psychic and Angel card readings for Monday, May the 18th to Sunday, May 24th, 2015. This week we're heading into Mercury retrograde, which means that communication is really difficult and there's a lot of emotional healing that's happening for people as well. So one of the biggest messages that has come through for everybody this week is to make sure that you are as compassionate with yourself and others as you possibly can. Remember that we're all in this together and that everyone is doing the best that they can with the resources that they have. There's a lot of opportunity for growth for everyone this week, and there are more details and information in the next section. This week, each of the crystal choices will receive a full weekly reading. So in the next section, I'll ask you to choose a crystal to represent your messages for the coming week. Also, at the end of each of the readings, I'll have a quick little Facebook promotion for you, so be sure to stay tuned to the end of your reading. If you've chosen Bronzite for the week, the card deck we'll be using is Doreen Virtue's Magical Messages from the Mermaids and Dolphins Oracle card deck. Typically, Bronzite has a lot to do with discipline and taking action, moving forward, and it feels like that's a big part of what's coming up for you this week. That said, we are still experiencing a lot of ups and downs. Mercury is going into retrograde at the very beginning of this week, so that means that communication can be difficult, and there can be delays in other areas as well. So there is a sense of desire and motivation and wanting to move forward, but that we might be running into some blocks and difficulties along the way. All right, I'm just going to give the cards a shuffle, and we'll ask our angels what messages they have for us for the coming week to help keep us healthy, balanced, centered, and strong, and moving forward in a positive way along our divine life path. All right, so the first card is for Monday and Tuesday, and the message that comes up is pay attention. Notice repetitious signs and your inner guidance, as this can yield valuable information. So one of the things that's coming up for you this week, if you've chosen Bronzite, at the beginning of the week, really pay attention to the different signs and intuitions that you're receiving at the beginning of the week. It feels like we're starting to put things into place to be moving forward and to be seeing a lot of growth and expansion, but it's coming along slowly, and there's this sense that things are really building, and there are little bits and pieces that are helping to tweak along the way. So Monday and Tuesday, it's not a time where we're seeing a lot of growth and expansion, but it's more where you're kind of coming into yourself, you're making plans, preparations, you're kind of deciding where you want to be. At the same time, it also feels like it's really important that you're taking time for yourself, being gentle with yourself, and not really putting a lot of huge expectations for accomplishment within the next week or so. Right, looking at Wednesday and Thursday, the message that's coming up is make a decision. Feeling stuck or indecisive, listen to your intuition and make a decision. So looking at the middle of the week this week, it feels like things are starting to come up to a head, and you really need to make a choice about the direction that you want to go in. Again, it doesn't feel like you're taking an awful lot of action this week, but you're in a place where you're making choices. You're starting to really mold and shape the direction that you want to be going into. This also feels like it's a time to be looking at your priorities and where you want to be putting your intentions and your energy and all of your resources. So take a look at where you want to be overall, and it feels like also the timeline that you're looking at is kind of over the next 3 months. So looking at where you want to be, what you want to be doing and accomplishing. Travel is popping in for you guys as well, particularly through like mid to late June and into the summer, so be sure to add that in. Career feels like it's really coming up to the forefront, and balancing a sense of career career with personal life. So what you're doing in your relationships, family, home, romance, it's all kind of a balance in those areas in your life. All right, coming back to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The message that's coming up for you is friendship. Make a date for a play day with one or more friends. So social is really coming up for you for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of this week. If you're in the States, I believe you guys have a long weekend coming up, so it would be really great if you're able to take some time away, but really making sure that you're connecting with friends and doing things more on a personal level as opposed to concentrating on work really, really strongly. So again, kind of looking back at the overview for the week, we're looking more into planning and preparing and getting ready and offsetting that with self-care and downtime. And as we move to the end of the week this week, we're looking into time with friends and really having more of a social aspect. So even though Bronzite is all around personal discipline and boundaries, and that there is a certain amount that's coming up for us in terms of what you're doing on a career and a work level, there's also a huge amount of balance and priorities that are coming forward as being messages and encouragement for you for this coming week. Thanks for watching this week's weekly Psychic and Angel card reading. As I did a couple of weeks ago, I'm going to be sending out some energy healing to anyone who wants it on my Facebook page. This will be happening on Thursday, May the 21st, 2015. So just head over to my Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Heavenly Messenger. The link is below. And just like the post to let me know that you want to receive some of the free energy healing I'm sending out. Wishing you a very happy Mercury retrograde. I'll see you next week. If you've chosen Emerald for the week, we'll be using Doreen Virtue's Messages from Your Angels Oracle card deck. So one of the things that really feels like it's coming to the forefront for you this week is things are really heart-centered. There's a lot of emotions that are coming up to the forefront, and you're really being guided and led along by your heart. So pay attention to where your heart is wanting to draw you, because this is a really good indication of the messages that you're receiving from your angels, from source, universe, God, whatever your belief system may be. There's also a sense that emotions are coming up to the surface to be released. So there's the need for a lot of compassion for yourself as well as the people around you. Mercury is going into retrograde, which makes at the beginning of this week, which makes communication a little more difficult. So kind of step back, particularly if anger is coming to the forefront for you, and try not to engage with people in an angry or an overly emotional way, and allow yourself to see the messages that are coming up through the emotions that you're experiencing as guidance and signs as to where you need to make changes in your life, whether it's in terms of how you're spending your time or the relationships that you have. But emotion is going to be really strong for you this week. All right, let's give the cards a shuffle and see what other messages are coming up for us. So, all right. The first card is for Monday and Tuesday, and the message that's come up is Azure, and she says, your desired outcome will occur in the very near future. Have patience and faith, and don't try to force it to happen. So things are actually kind of ramping up and kicking up for you. Know that all of the energy that you've been putting into projects, into emotional healing, into self-care, into intuition, and into personal growth and development, everything is starting to come around, but there's the need for a bit of patience right now. Need for a bit of patience. There is a lot of emotional healing that's coming up, so know that everything that you've been working on is starting to come together. It is coming to fruition, but there is a little bit of time that needs to happen. So rather than kind of putting all of your energy and concentration into all the projects that you have on the go right now, make sure that you are dividing your attention equally and evenly between the major areas in your life, and relationships, family, work, personal health and wellness is really coming up to the forefront for you. So if you've been looking at making changes or thinking about making changes, now is a great time to start to put those into action, but in a really loving way. Right? Looking at Wednesday and Thursday, the message that's coming up for you is Isabella, and she says, yes, the timing is right for this new venture. A happy outcome follows your positive expectations. So again, we have more messages coming up that things are really coming together, and it's also popping in, pardon me, not to buy into any of the drama that you may be going through. So it really does feel like emotions are coming up to the forefront and to the surface for you this week. Don't, or try as much as you can not to become caught up in what you're feeling and experiencing, because it feels like a lot of what's coming up is coming up so that it can be released. So don't be surprised if old wounds or injuries or situations that you've dealt with in the past are starting to come to the forefront, because everything that you are manifesting and creating in your life right now is bringing these things up so that you can create a clean slate for moving forward. So know that the reason that you're going through this is to completely let it go. So don't delve back down into it, but just allow it to come up, make choices and changes to so that you're no longer in a place where you're feeling and experiencing that, and allow it to be a guide and intuition for you. All right, looking at Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the message that's coming through for you is Archangel Gabrielle, and she says, you have an important life purpose involving communication and the arts. Please don't allow your insecurities to hold you back. I will help you. So in part, this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, there is the encouragement to make sure that you're communicating with the people around you, and that you are using as effective communication tools as you possibly can. Now, a big part of that is not only being clear in what you're thinking and saying to people, but it's also the other half of communication, which is actively listening to the people around you. We are going into a time where Mercury is in retrograde, and at this time, communication is huge. Difficulty in communication, electronics, there tends to be a lot of sticky things that happen during Mercury retrograde, and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it feels like it's going to be a time that really hits you and has an effect and an impact on your life. So rather than becoming, again, caught up in the drama of what's going on and what's happening, step back a moment and make sure that you are effectively communicating with yourself and the people around you. And if you're having a difficult time with that, call on Archangel Gabrielle and ask her for help and support as you go through Mercury retrograde. Thanks for watching this week's weekly Psychic and Angel card reading. As I did a couple of weeks ago, I'm going to be sending out some energy healing to anyone who wants it on my Facebook page. This will be happening on Thursday, May the 21st, 2015. So just head over to my Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Heavenly Messenger. The link is below. And just like the post to let me know that you want to receive some of the free energy healing I'm sending out. Wishing you a very happy Mercury retrograde. I'll see you next week. If you've chosen Blue Lace Agate for the week, the angel deck that we're going to be using is Doreen Virtue's Archangel Oracle card deck. I've chosen this deck for you guys because it feels like you're going to need the heavy hitters and all of the Archangel help and support that you can get. So, one of the primary things around Blue Lace Agate is it's a stone of communication, of being able to effectively communicate your truth, your passion, your desire, and really speaking from your heart and from your soul. As we start to move into Mercury retrograde, which is happening at the beginning of the week this week, you're going to need as much help and support in doing that as you can. It feels like you have a week of transition and transformation that's coming up, and there is a lot of emotion that's starting to come up to the surface, as well as the opportunity for things to be moving forward for you. Let's take a look and see what other messages are coming up for you. So I'll give the cards a shuffle, and we're going to ask our angels what messages they have for us for the coming week to help keep you healthy, balanced, stable, and strong, and moving forward in a positive way along your divine life path. All right. There we go. So the first card is for Monday and Tuesday, and the message that's coming up is Archangel Raphael, and he says, healthy lifestyle. Eat a healthful diet, get adequate sleep, and exercise regularly for optimal health. So what we're looking at the beginning of the week this week is we're getting back to basics for you. This is all about taking care of you on a physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual level. You're kind of not in a place where you're making a whole pile of changes. You're not necessarily seeing a whole pile of forward movement, except that unless of course part of your project has been really on a personal level. This is also confirmation that all of the lifestyle changes that you've been making or that you've been thinking about making, that either you're doing a great job or that this is a really strong encouragement to be taking those steps and making those choices. So healthy and healthful living is really coming to the forefront. I also want to emphasize adequate sleep. So rather than trying to push yourself and work through something, even if it's a project or a task that's sitting on your plate, the message that's coming up is, at least for the beginning of this week, not to be pushing and forcing yourself over what is comfortable for you to do. So give yourself permission to take time off, take some downtime, and not have to push and force your way through things. Also, the angels are coming in, particularly Archangel Raphael, and is saying that they are helping you this week to create time and space for you to be able to get in those healthy lifestyle things as sleep, exercise, fresh air, nutritious foods, as well as they're showing these sections of downtime. So make sure the beginning of the week this week you're scheduling in that downtime ahead of time. Looking at Wednesday and Thursday, the message that's coming up for us is nurture. This is Archangel Gabrielle, and she says, as you nurture a child, you nurture your own inner child. Both activities are important for you right now. So again, through Wednesday and Thursday, we're looking at a place where we're not rocking the boat. You guys are taking care of yourselves and really listening to the intuition and the guidance that your body is giving you. Pay attention to the physical cues. So notice your energy levels and how you feel after you eat certain foods, or even while you're preparing foods and meals, how your body is feeling and reacting to that food coming in. If you've been thinking about or considering doing any sort of cleanse or making dietary changes, now feels like it's the perfect time for you to be doing that. So looking through Wednesday and Thursday, there's just a lot of energy around taking care and doing things that are nurturing and nourishing for you. Also, on a decision-making level, it feels like it's important that you're really paying attention to the clairsentient messages that you're receiving. So these are messages, guidance, and information that you're receiving through your emotional well-being, through the emotions that you're feeling, as well as physically. So pay attention to your stomach and your overall energy level this week as you're making choices and decisions for yourself. Looking at Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the message that's coming up is career transition. Archangel Chamuel says your life purpose is triggering a blessed career change. So now this is really interesting to come up for you guys if you've chosen Blue Lace Agate for the week. We have a week where we're doing a lot of self-care and where we're seeing the energy around healthy, balanced lifestyle. And all of this is leading up to career changes for you over the weekend. So this could be coming through on a whole pile of different levels. If you're looking at making a career change, it feels like the energy of taking care of yourself this week is really putting you in a good place where you are recognizing and saying to yourself, what I've been doing is not serving me and it's not serving my purpose anymore, and I'm ready to make that choice and that change. So it feels like it could be a bit of a sticky time to be actually making the physical change of leaving where you are and starting into something new, but that the ball is really starting to roll around career change. This can also be the opportunity to be tweaking things in your life on a career level as well. So take a look at different opportunities to make changes that are happy and healthy for you. But the biggest thing that's coming up for you this week is that this is a week of self-care and putting yourself first, nurturing and nourishing yourself. Thanks for watching this week's weekly Psychic and Angel card reading. As I did a couple of weeks ago, I'm going to be sending out some energy healing to anyone who wants it on my Facebook page. This will be happening on Thursday, May the 21st, 2015. So just head over to my Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Heavenly Messenger. The link is below. And just like the post to let me know that you want to receive some of the free energy healing I'm sending out. Wishing you a very happy Mercury retrograde. I'll see you next week.